Hey friends, welcome back to the Happy Homestead. I'm Amanda. It is Sunday night, August 20th. We are 20 days into this challenge. Only 11 more days to go. That's crazy to think about, but it's 7:45 at night. It has been such a busy weekend, but I wanted to just kind of sit here and have a chat with you about the weekend and what we accomplished and what we did and what's on the docket for the week ahead. So, busy weekend. Let's see, Saturday. What did I do? I freeze dried the mashed potatoes and some zucchini and squash. That's right. So Friday night I went to our farm and harvested, and I came home with the biggest zucchini I probably have ever grown. Now I hadn't been at the farm since I think the Sunday prior. So it had been like 4 or 5 days, and I could not believe how big this thing was. I weighed it and I measured it, and it was 17 inches long and 3.5 pounds. Now, this happens very commonly to people who are growing zucchini. They just get out of hand so fast. And there are a variety of things you can do with them, but I chose to make more zucchini bread. So last time I made squash bread. This time I made zucchini bread. And I did 4 loaves with one giant monster zucchini. Oh my Lord. Let's see if you can see it. Oh, are we done? Are we done? That wasn't very long. Never fails. So I made 4 loaves Saturday morning. It was the first thing I did Saturday morning. And then I got the freeze dryer going as well. And I put in those 2 trays of mashed potatoes that I had made a few days ago. They were completely frozen. But then I added in some sliced zucchini and squash, 1 tray of each, because I know that this gravy train of squash and zucchini is going to end in the garden soon, and I really want to preserve as much as possible. So that's what I did on Saturday. Oh, and I made another quart of fermented pickles. I'm starting to really embrace the fermented pickles. I'm no longer fearing them. I'm no longer worried we'll have too many. I'm embracing them. And then today I did a 1/2 gallon of tepache. Now, you may not know what tepache is. I did a whole video on this not that long ago. I'll link it above. But I had a pineapple in the refrigerator that I had bought a couple of weeks ago, and I knew I needed to get it cut up for this week for the kids for school and for snacks. And so I take the skin and the core, I save it, I add it into a 1/2 gallon jar with a 1/2 cup of sugar, organic cane sugar, and then there's there's 2 cinnamon sticks, some cloves, and star anise, and it just ferments for about a week, and it becomes the most delicious pineapple fizzy type soda. Oh my goodness. I just discovered tepache this year, and I am wondering where it's been all my life. So good. If you're new to fermenting, start with this. I really think this is a really good entry because it's sweet, but it has all of the fermented probiotics, the goodness. It's easy and it's so delicious. And it's a great way to use the core and the skins. So I did that today. A little plug for tepache. We went to the farm again today and harvested. And it's funny, I was just telling my husband at dinner, today's the first time that I've noticed that the garden may be slowing down a bit. I have a ton of little caterpillars and army worms in my tomatoes. They are like boring their little holes and eating them from the inside out. It's so frustrating. But so I know I'm gonna have to pull a couple of tomato plants. I actually think my tomatillos are not doing very well this year. I had this inkling last Friday and I think the week before that I was in the garden, but I think the tomatillos are gonna get pulled. I have a bunny that is eating my green beans. C'est la vie. Not gonna worry too much about it. I have an electric fence around it, but the charge is not very strong because the weeds on the perimeter of the garden are really growing, and the more greenery and weeds and the kind of stuff that touch the fence, it kind of lessens the charge, it weakens the charge. So that bunny, I've seen him twice now, today and on Friday. He's enjoying the green beans. The peppers are just starting to come. The squash I have new squash and they're doing good, but the older squash I can see are kind of dissipating. So yeah, I'm embracing the squash and the zucchini and the cucumbers because I do know it's going to slow down soon. And I'm so excited to start the fall garden. I have, you may not be able to see it, but no, you can't, but on the table out there are all of my fall starts: cabbages, bok choy, Swiss chard. I've got some dill out there. And then I plan on doing carrots, beets, and kale as well. But I'm really excited to get the fall garden together. So lots to do in the garden. So as far as what's on the week ahead, I have some exciting things. I plan on making pasta, and with that pasta, I plan on making some lasagna sheets and making two different flavors of lasagnas, yet to be seen. I'll show you what they are when that happens, to put in the freezer for some meals later on this winter. I'm really excited to have some more options with some meals that are easily ready to go. I also plan on making some ricotta cheese because I'm going to use that for the lasagna, and I plan on doing some waffles, some sourdough discard waffles, easy breakfasts. We don't always think of the breakfast when we think of the Every Bit Counts challenge, but to us, that's the most important meal of the day. So I like having some different options for the kids that are still very quick in the mornings. I have more green beans. I think I'm going to be doing another pressure canner load of green beans very shortly. I also need to make some pizza dough. I plan on doing that this week. We usually do pizza Fridays, especially during the winter, because again, it's an easy meal that is still very warming, and it can be nutritious when things are homemade. So I need to get some pizza dough made and in the freezer. And I also plan on doing some stock. I'm going to be cooking a chicken, I believe, this week. And so whenever I cook a chicken, I always make stock. And I still have a lot of beef bones that I have got to attend to and make some beef broth at some point as well. Still lots to do. I know there's only 11 days left, and tomatoes. Oh my goodness, still got to do the tomatoes. Lots to do. So even though the garden may be winding down, the homestead kitchen is not. I'm sure it's the same for you. Thanks for joining me on this little evening chat. I hope this kind of format is enjoyable. I know it's a little bit different, but I kind of like doing the Sunday just catch up with you guys and let you know what's going on. And I'd love to hear what your plans are for this week for the challenge as well. I will see you tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.